Hey YouTube, this is Belon. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, hey. And if you are a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing and thank you for coming back. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, which is like it's confusing because it's this button here. Okay, whatever. But yeah, today I am going to be going over my program manual just to give you all a little. That's one of my friends texting me. One, just to go over my binder, just to give you all a little bit of history. Not really history, but just a background on the program that I'm going through. Just to give you a little background, though, on my process of surgical weight loss, I was, again, never a fan of surgical weight loss. I always thought it was the easy way out until I did a lot more research and I got on YouTube, Google, everything, even going to the program's websites, just getting more and more information. That's when I really started to be like, this is more than likely the plan for me. So we have two surgical weight loss. Um, we have two surgical weight loss centers. Yes, I'm trying to get that word right in my head. We have two surgical weight loss programs that I know of here in the upstate of South Carolina. And the one that I am actually going through to have my surgery is Bon Secours. If you want to go through them, their website is gottolose.org. My surgeon is Dr. Anderson. Um, just to give you a little bit of background, I actually started out with Bon Secours, but the program just, oh my goodness, this is something that they can probably work on. The communication, the time of processing and getting uh it it is, sorry y'all, it is very, it's a lot. So yeah, and it was just really hard for them to get all my records, and so I just got really frustrated and I decided to go with Greenville Health System. And that process, I was starting that process, and then like in the beginning, like a couple of weeks, maybe 1 or 2 weeks into that process, going through that system, Bon Secours got all my records and was able to set me up with a consultation. And so that was really um, the process there, how I got there. Now, as far as Bon Secours, they do not have a program fee. So you don't have to pay a fee to do this program with Bon Secours. Now, Greenville Health System, you do have to pay a fee. That fee is $100, but you get access to everything like for life, whether it's, I believe, like Zumba classes, all of those things, you get access to that for life. So it's really a nominal fee for everything that you get. And I did pay that. And of course, I'm not still going through that process because I decided to switch over to Bon Secours. And, but yeah. And so just a little bit of, we're just going to go through the binder just a little bit. Hopefully this is not a long video. You may see me edit out some things if I start to ramble, but yeah. So you have the program fee that you don't have with Bon Secours. You pay your deductible, your copay, whatever. With your insurance, call your insurance, see what they cover. Now, my insurance, I don't know what I'm eventually going to have to pay out of pocket. I am praying for the deductible of $500 because that is something that I can afford. It is not because I am paying for this for myself. Um, and just call them. I've called my insurance. They probably know, they should know me because I called them several times. And a thing that Bonds of Course does do is they send you like this packet which you have to fill out, and they do tell you to contact your insurance. They're going to contact your insurance, but they want you to contact your insurance so you can be knowledgeable about your insurance, which I think is a good thing because you need to know what is covered. You need to know what your costs could potentially be. Now, and the wonderful thing about my insurance, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield, um, they have this thing where I can go on and um, see what I'm potentially going to pay for the surgery. And it says bariatric surgery and then it puts gastric bypass, but I'm assuming it covers all bariatric surgery. Um, and when I called and asked, the person didn't really know, and so I wasn't going to call back again. I'm just going to let St. Francis do what they do and see if it corresponds with my research. But anyway, um, let's see. And they do say here that they do have financing, which is available through Prosper Healthcare Lending, which I'm assuming is something like, sort of like Care Credit, but you would have to call the quality coordinator to get more information on that. I'm paying for this out of pocket. Yeah. Anyway, you have to have a dietary evaluation. Now, the dietary evaluation does not cost you anything. Now, the psych eval, you do have to have a psych eval, and it has to be with, I will tell you, it's not a particular person. You can go to anybody, but they do have somebody they recommend. But it says you must use a licensed clinical social worker, psychologist, or psychiatrist. So I couldn't go to my therapist for the eval, but I did get a recommendation from a friend who had the surgery and went to that person. And she was really great. And I did have to pay the fee up front because I had not met my deductible for 2018. I had not met my deductible. So I did have to pay that fee up front. But my insurance ended up covering it. So I did get that money back. So it's always good to know what your insurance covers. You have to get all of your records, recommendations if you need those. Let's see. And then you have to have labs done. I have reflux. I have reflux. It's very minimal, but since I did have that, they wanted me to have an upper something. I gotta remember. I can't remember. It's an upper I think it's an endoscopy. No, it's not an endoscopy because I didn't go to sleep. They just kind of made me drink this nasty stuff, and it was nasty. And they just put me on the X-ray table just to see if I had reflux. And insurance did cover part of that. I still have a little bit of a bill that I owe for that, but had to have that done, and then my other labs and things like that. Let's see. You are like again, I said you're responsible for your deductibles, your co-pays, and it does say here you'll be notified at the time you schedule your surgery and after your insurance is verified, indicating the estimate of your financial obligation to Carolina Surgical Associates and Bon Secours Health System. They do require that all surgery deposits be paid in full prior to your procedure. Your surgeon fees will be paid to Carolina Surgical Associates in full prior to your pre-assessment visit. Now, I went on the 8th of January to have my second weigh-in, and that's when I went and scheduled my pre-assessment and my surgery. I'm not going to say my surgery date just yet because I don't know what the cost is going to be. And if it's more than what I am praying for and hoping for, I may have to adjust that date just a little bit. So we don't know. until I go for my pre-assessment. That's what it says, that I'm supposed to pay it before. Oops, I almost knocked my phone over, but I put my case back on my phone. But anyway, um, it says that you're supposed to pay it before my pre-assessment, but I don't have any. They didn't give me anything to pay before my pre-assessment, so I'm just gonna go to my pre-assessment, get my financial obligations, and again, we are praying for the $500 deductible. We can make that work. They have at the back of the binder a list of frequently asked questions. A lot of this stuff you can find online, but this is in particular my what am I talking about? My binder, my journey, things like that. They have how long does it take. So I'm going again for the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. The sleeve gastrectomy, it says here approximately takes about an hour and a half. I don't know why it's going to take that long. Because I've watched other YouTubers. I've watched My 600 Pound Life, Family by the Ton, and some surgeries take. I'm not 600 pounds, but I don't know what's gonna take that long, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah. Let's see. How long will you be in the hospital? Most of these surgeries are done laparoscopically, which means they poke little holes in you, they insert the instruments, and they do the surgery, blah, 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 doop, 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 and you're done. It's not an open procedure. They're not cutting you open. So you have a quicker recovery time in the hospital. So for Bon Secours, they have you in the hospital for 2 nights, I believe. Let's see, yep, 1 to 2 nights. Now, GHS, when I was going over their videos and their particular process, they said that you would probably be in there maybe a day and then go home. Like the day you go into surgery, you're getting up and walking like 2 hours after your surgery or something like that, and then you're going home, which kind of didn't sit well with me because yeah, you have this surgery, but why are you sending people home so quickly? Like that's not cool. You never know, something that they could have a complication and they have to come back. So I like the fact that Bon Secours does keep you a little bit longer. And yeah, I'm getting my water because I'm talking a lot, and hopefully I'm not rambling. But yeah, um, how long will you be out of work? Now, for laparoscopic procedures, like I said, a lot of these procedures are done laparoscopically 1 to 3 weeks. My goal is to go back to work, and when I don't have a labor intensive job, I work in a call center. I don't foresee myself being out for 3 weeks. I put in 4 for the leave of absence because I couldn't find this page when I was doing the paperwork. So I was like, I think it's 4. But if it's an open procedure, then it's 4 to 6 weeks you're out of work. But we'll see how my body does. I've had surgery before, so I'm pretty much a quick recoverer, if that's a word. But anyway, um, you do need to stop smoking. It says here, will I need to stop smoking? Yes. Smoking's bad for you anyway. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if they're like, oh, I smoke weed. Smoking is bad for you, like in general. And I'm not saying like I'm better than anybody else. I'm not saying that I haven't done or have done anything. I'm just saying in general, smoking is bad for you. If it's inhalation of smoke, it's bad for you. You have to stop, and you have to stop smoking at least 6 months before surgery because you're gonna have, especially if you vape, like no nicotine. It's basically you're gonna develop complications like strictures and ulcers. Nobody needs those problems, so just quit smoking. Like the whole exercise now. As I mentioned in a couple of videos, I think my very first video, I've always said I don't have a problem with exercising. I really don't. I'm currently going to boot camp. It says, what about exercise? You're supposed to begin, if you haven't already, or if you're not already currently working out within the first few weeks of surgery, go back to working out, which is good for me because I don't want to be out of working out for a period of time. And I'll get into that a little bit later because there's a whole thing about working out. Bon Secours does have support groups. Again, how long will your process takes? Your process before pre-surgery, pre-op, is very different. It's really based off of your insurance. Your insurance could have no pre-op, um, no not pre-op, but no specific time frame before you can have surgery. So you may be able to go through and get your psych eval, get your do your nutrition visits, all that, blah blah blah. Get that done in 2-3 weeks, and then you can have surgery. Or your insurance may have you have a 6-month waiting time, a 3-month waiting time, or a 1-year waiting time. Just depends on your insurance, which is why you need to contact your insurance. And they have what's called, and it's in my room. Well, it's not technically in my room. What's it called? It's like the policy on weight loss surgery. Every insurance company should have that, where you can see what's covered, what procedures are covered, and you can see your time. Now, you do need to contact your insurance and see what your particular time is, because when I contacted my insurance, they advised me that the policy or whatever, medical policy, that's what it's called, medical policy, did say a year time, but they advised me that for my particular policy that I didn't have that wait time. So again, it's always best to call and ask and talk with somebody who looks at this on a daily basis. Just do that. Do that and you'll figure it out. And then they ask, why do you have to have a psych eval? This is a major, major life change. You have to have the psych eval because you have to prepare your mind for what you're about to put your body through. You're about to go through surgery, and then you're about to drop weight significantly. And it's going to be quicker probably than you're used to. And sometimes you have to catch your body up to your mind up to your body. Like, you might still be relating to your body in a way that is not like you're one size, but you're still treating your body like it's bigger. Like, those things that you have to go through and think about, and knowing the risk. What are you about to get yourself into? What are the risks? You can have a leak. You can potentially die. These are risks that they want to make sure that you know what you're getting into, and you're doing this as a sound mind and things like that. So you definitely have to have a psych eval. You just have to have a psych eval, and I really get why you have to have that evaluation. I am a proponent, especially for us melanated people. They have their policies, they have their labs that you have to have done, and you'll talk with the surgeon, and they'll order those and all that good stuff. I'm trying to think. What else? And then they have like types of exercises, like exercises you can do at home, those types of things. I'm not working out at home. I'm just let's see. They have post-op concerns and troubleshooting, like what potential problems you could have. We're not going through all of those. Hair thinning can happen. I've already started taking a regimen of biotin, which has actually been really great for my nails. Like, I don't have my nails done, which is kind of for me, but I'm getting ready to go into surgery, so they have to be able to see your nail to make sure you're getting proper oxygen. So I haven't had my nails done. You got reflux, you got nausea, lactose intolerance. They have like a whole list of issues. Hold on real quick, y'all. I have been waiting on this message. But yeah, like, I like that, every program gives you a manual, and so I can read it. It's great. And I actually skipped the 2-week pre-op diet. Everybody's 2 week pre-op diet is different. Everybody's is different. I haven't seen, I've not seen one that is exactly the same. Like, and I may have overlooked it. Now, for the Bon Secours 2 week pre-op diet, you have 3 meals per day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they want you to start doing that before you even schedule surgery. I am bad about that. Like, I'm an emotional eater, but I'm also a person that doesn't eat. I'm terrible with like eating in general. I may eat 1 meal a day, or if I'm like really emotional, I'll eat. Like there's no middle ground. So this has been real for me. Like making sure I'm eating enough. This has been real. But it's 3 meals per day plus snacks as needed of lean protein and salad type vegetables. Okay. So it's not fried chicken. That's not what we do for protein. 64 ounces of fluid water, sugar free drink mixes, decaf tea, and non nutritive sweetener. No protein shakes during the 2 week diet. This is going to be hard for me because I have to really, literally eat 3 times a day. That's hard. And I've been trying to do that. Like grill, broil, stew, steam, bake, or roast your protein. Protein. Don't fry. Why you don't eat fried food? I was just waiting for you to tell me why you don't eat fried food when you about to lose weight. That don't make sense. Um, Fat-free salad dressing is allowed. Now they give you this nice little list. It's not a liquid diet. Some people have a liquid diet. I don't have that liquid diet. I'm actually supposed to be doing a cleanse with my boot camp family, so I'm probably just going to stick with that cleanse a lot more than this 2 week pre-op, just because it worked. I'm going to do that. But that's really what we're doing. And if you saw that, I crossed out some things that I didn't like. Like, I don't like pork chops that much. I like bacon. Now you're going to avoid bread, gravy, frying, rice, quinoa, pasta, cereal. I like cereal, but I don't like milk because I'm lactose intolerant. But I still be eating cheese. Your girl is. Anyway, potatoes, beans, peas, corn, fruit, yogurt, barbecue, ribs, sausage, bacon. You can't eat none of that. You just can't eat it. Can't eat it. But since I'm doing this fast and this cleanse with my boot camp family, I'm probably going to be really great. The purpose of the 2 week diet, whether it's a liquid diet, whether it's this option here, whether it's high protein, low carb, whatever it is to shrink your liver, because your stomach is, I don't know where I'm pointing. I think it's somewhere in there, but it's like, I think it's like below the liver. So they have to retract the liver, and people who are overweight have what's called non-alcoholic fatty liver. And so they're trying to shrink that to be able to get to your stomach, and you don't want no problems. So just abide by the doctor's rules. Stop trying to think you can cheat the system. I can't cheat the system. Okay, day before surgery, you have no solid food, broth, sugar-free drinks, sugar-free popsicles. The day before surgery, no solid food, nothing in your stomach. The day of surgery, nothing to eat or drink. Don't be like the girl on Skin Tight eating the day of your surgery, and then you gotta have your stomach pumped or your surgery canceled. Anybody got time for that? Anyway, now you have a nutrition plan after your surgery. In the hospital, you will be doing clear liquids. You're gonna sip slowly, no straws. I am not a huge straw drinker. I use straws when I have on makeup You're basically going to be drinking water, sugar-free, non-carbonated drinks.